Have you ever been reminded of a Lego set you used to have that's maybe missing some pieces, or maybe your parents threw it out, or maybe it's just dismantled and you lost it to the bins? You ever thought, you know what, I really missed that set. I'm gonna check out what it's selling for today, and maybe I'll buy it so I can get a bit of a nostalgia high or even love myself again? So you go to check eBay and you see that the price of the set has skyrocketed. You think, that's ridiculous. Who would pay so much money for an outdated Lego set? But then you have an epiphany. The lights dim as you start to rub your hands together, and an evil smirk tugs at the corner of your lips. That smirk becomes a grin, then you start to chuckle, then you burst into a maniacal laughter. Okay, I can't guarantee that all Lego investors have this supervillain origin story, but somebody out there probably did. Now, I'm sure most Lego enjoyers have thought about investing, or at least buying two sets, one to open, one to stock, but I'm not sure it's so smart to do anymore. And here's why. So this isn't going to be as applicable to original trilogy sets. It's more for prequel and Clone Wars sets, specifically those from 2008 to 2014. Okay, so just for some context, I know that when the prequel trilogy came out, people didn't really like them, especially original trilogy fans, as they felt it was a departure from what they loved about Star Wars. But as time went on, prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith, have become to be a lot more publicly accepted and loved. And now this could be due to the new trilogy, the sequels that came out, being terrible, but it could also be due to the people who grew up with the prequels becoming old enough to voice their opinions on them. And personally, I think that's more of what it is. And for the Clone Wars, I don't want to say that it was made for kids, as there's some very mature concepts that are prevalent throughout the show's lifetime, but it was definitely catered towards them with the animation and general themes, especially the first couple seasons. So the main audience of the show was probably older kids in the late 2000s and early 2010s, as the show started in 2008. So all my early 2000s brethren, I'm talking about you guys. So Lego makes all these sets that release as the show is running, but the main audience doesn't have the money to buy all the sets, so they have to beg their parents or grandparents or the man in the van that gives you candy. And I don't know about y'all, but my parents were not getting me every set, and I'm assuming that most kids weren't getting everything they wanted either. This means that those kids have grown up and now are thrust into the world, have their own jobs, have their own money, and can spend it on things they couldn't before. So they go back and they find a set that they had or a set that they always wanted and are willing to shell out way more money than the set was originally valued at, just for a Commander Wolf or a Phase 1 Captain Rex. Anyway, kids today aren't growing up with the Clone Wars. I know that Season 7 and The Bad Batch have dropped, but I have a feeling that most of the people that watched it were Clone Wars fans that came back to see the finale and watch the spinoff. So back to the topic. The people that are buying these old Clone Wars sets are buying them out of nostalgia. So when a new set comes out that has an exclusive clone trooper that investors think will appreciate significantly over time, they buy up all the stock. But the people who are willing to spend large amounts of money on old Clone Wars sets are old enough to just buy them as they come out. So there will be no need to buy them in 10 years because they're older and they will take better care of them. I mean, all of this is just a theory and I could be completely wrong. Maybe kids in 10 years will go back and also want these 2024 sets and be willing to spend ridiculous amounts. But I just feel like there won't be as many. I think that investors need to find out what kids are crazy about now, like Fortnite or whatever, and model their enterprise after that. Also, I just want to say I'm not endorsing investing in kids' toys to take advantage of their nostalgia in the future, but I'm also not telling them that they can't do it. So anyway, just let me know what you think about my theory. Okay, later.